Okay, welcome to another YouTube video, and today's video is going to be all about the mindset that you need to put in the bin and absolutely ditch if you are to achieve your health and fitness goal. It is something that is holding you back. It has done for years, and I feel like this time of year it really is heightened, okay, for many reasons that I'm going to go through, but I know you're going to find this super useful. So yeah, stick with me on this one. I'm going to explain what the mindset is and why we need to ditch it and why it's holding you back so much, and I know that in listening to this, it will resonate with you deep down and you'll be able to relate to your journey, look back through it and analyze it and go, it makes so much sense. And that's the whole point of this video, is to help you to identify what's actually holding you back, because most coaches out there would just say, oh, you just need to be in a deficit, you need to track your calories, you need to do some more workouts, you need to start being consistent with that. And it's like, yeah, that's all well and good, but under the surface, there's mental limitations and barriers that are keeping you stuck. And when you start to change your mindset and you create awareness around like your beliefs and narratives, we can unlock incredible things. So the mindset that we need to put in the bin, that so many over 30s have, through years of, trying and failing with their health and fitness journey, they've labeled themselves as someone that can't achieve their goal, because everything you've ever tried hasn't worked. So and I feel like in today's society, we have this like perfectionist mindset. We want everything perfect, we want everything at record speed, and it's that kind of perfectionism that limits so many of us. So the mindset that we need to put in the bin is being a perfectionist. Okay, it's that all or nothing mindset that I know that you have experienced, and deep down you kind of know that it's your mindset that's always holding you back. You feel like everything needs to be perfect. You're either all in or not at all. You really struggle to show up when it's hard and just build consistency over time. It's either short bursts of effort and then nothing at all. You could be on it for 4 weeks and then vanish off the face of the earth. And it's that all or nothing mindset, and how we're trying to change you to have more of a growth mindset, to have more of a flexible mindset. And we can do that with the right strategy. So the reason I talk about this right now as this topic of this video is because spring, summer, whatever you want to label it as, the time right now as we're looking forward to, a bit more sunshine, warmer months, and, holidays, socials, trips away, it just heightens it. Like the amount of adults that I've spoken to who, really like my content, we have great conversations, they completely open up about where they're at, what they want to achieve, and it all sounds amazing. And obviously the opportunity comes up to join our 4-week trial intake, and they go, sounds great, like I really want to do this, but I've got holiday next week, and got a busy few weeks, so I'll do next month. Yeah, all good, not a problem. And then it comes to next month, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna keep going on my own for a bit because I've got this on and that on, and there's just so much going on right now. And it's so easy for your mindset and the kind of the belief that you hold in your head is that like life has to be perfect for me to be able to really achieve this. And I can see why that is the narrative, because when you look back at your health and fitness journey, years of, trying and failing, everything that you've ever done, it's never just fit into your life. It's never worked. You've been able to do it for a few weeks and get excited, and then, work picks up, life happens, and it's out the window again. So, I can see why that's the mindset, that you feel like life has to be quiet, life has to be perfect. The kind of weeks and months of where you want to change, like it has to be quiet and for you to feel like it's achievable. But this is where like it's the narrative that you have in your head, and it's creating this belief that you couldn't possibly achieve your goal because you've got loads going on. And it's completely false. As an over 30, I say this time and time again, like your life is busy, it's chaotic, you've got responsibility. That's never going to change. You have to find a way to break the cycle, to learn to show up and prioritize yourself more, and find ways to build this into your life. And you can do that really simply, by removing the barrier of entry and making things super simple. Like, incredible achievements just require small changes, but just compounded over time. And it's crazy because so many over 30s don't see that. And I'm sat here like, please just trust and listen to me, because I know exactly how we can overcome this one thing that's holding you back. And it is that perfectionist and all or nothing mindset. And the first thing that I want you to kind of just sit with before I go through like the things that you need to like get rid of this mindset, and it's going to unlock, your dream body shape, confidence, health and fitness, and just, finally fill in that missing piece of the jigsaw, is don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Okay. Something is always better than nothing. How many times have you, gone into a week thinking, I'm going to make a change, this is what I'm going to do, and then it just doesn't happen. You work late, something kicks off at home, you feel tired and stressed and not as motivated as you did on Sunday night when you were like, I'm going to get back on it tomorrow. And it's just like, there we go again. But this is where we can't let perfect be the enemy of good, because if the belief is we need to be perfect to make progress, then you're never going to progress. Okay? Success and progress is messy. It's chaotic. It's, trying to stay afloat. It's little like compounding efforts of 10% effort, 20% effort it's just a varying thing. All right. But it's compounded over time. Consistent effort trumps perfection every single day of the week. And that's all we actually need to progress. But again, adults will approach a situation, and see it as, I'm not able to do that because this is on. So then everything goes out the window, and that self-sabotage mindset. And, if actually we looked at it as, what can I do today that's going to better my tomorrow? Something is better than nothing. So, okay, I might have a holiday in a couple of weeks, but that doesn't mean I can't start my weight loss journey. That doesn't mean that I can't start building better habits, getting into exercise, And if I've got a holiday, then how do I approach it? Can I learn how to manage it differently? You don't have to go on holiday and everything be tits up. You can plan and prepare leading up to it, whilst you're on holiday, after it. There are so many things that you can do. And I think it all just starts from like not letting perfect be the enemy of good, and realizing that your perfectionism and your all or nothing mindset is the only thing that's holding you back. Because when you let go of that, when you go, actually, can I challenge that narrative? Could I finally commit to my goal because I really want to, whilst life is busy, and just see, okay, can I actually learn how to integrate this in my life with the right mindset change, with the right habits built, and the right plan that's actually built for me and my unique life? Can I actually break the cycle? Because unless you commit and make yourself more of a priority, you'll always just have that all or nothing mindset. You'll never give it a go. You'll always kind of convince yourself that like, I'm just too busy, I've got too much on, I've got too much responsibility, and that helps you to justify your lack of progress. But like, honestly, I've seen people make unbelievable progress, like completely life-changing, and their whole life has just been the most chaotic, personally, work, everything. So that's a big thing to take away from this. But look, there's kind of 4 things here that we need, right? We need to understand that it is your perfectionist and all or nothing mindset that is holding you back. And that's heightened in summer because you've got loads of plans on, you're busy, and it just feeds into that like, oh, I'd love to commit to this, but, I just can't, I'm just too busy, So we've got to let go of that. And hopefully in me kind of, proposing this to you today, it kind of starts to shift your mindset. It gets you to think, okay, cool, maybe what Ben's saying is actually true. And it's just not letting perfect be the enemy of good. Consistent effort wins every single day. The sun's coming out, so hopefully the lighting's okay. But yeah, the first thing we need is a goal, right? If your mindset right now, okay, let me challenge you to this. If your mindset right now is, there's too much going on, I've got this holiday, I've got that, I've just got so much going on, like I couldn't possibly achieve your goal, I want you to stop. I want you to recognize that that is a belief of an all or nothing mindset, and look at the results that that's giving you. Is it what you want? Well, no, otherwise you wouldn't be here watching this video. So this is where you need to go. Well, for me to then change that, I need to change my narrative. Now is the time for me to commit. Now is the time to actually learn how I can make incredible progress whilst socializing, whilst going away, and how I can build this as part of my life. So you need a goal. You need a goal, because without a goal, there is nothing like magnetically pulling you towards all of the things that you need to do to see progress. You will not even give yourself a chance if you don't have a goal that you can commit to, because you just get distracted. You get pulled left, right, and center, being a busy mum, having responsibility at work. You need something to pull you towards like the things that you want to achieve. So having a goal that is meaningful to you, that is something that you've always wanted to achieve, is key. You need a goal. If you've got a goal, there is something to work towards, and then you can start to fill in the missing blanks. And this is where flexible frameworks are essential, okay? Because so many, over 30s will go, do you know what? I'm going to go for this. Like, I really want to lose weight. I want to get my health sorted. Let's do it, right? But then it's a crazy busy time at work. They're going on holiday and they're away for the weekends, and they've been prescribed a 7-day-a-week training program with loads of cardio, 15,000 steps a day, and tracking like a calorie target, right? And that's fine, it works for a few days, but then you've got a work trip. Okay, well, how do I track my calories when I'm on a work trip? I'm going to a restaurant, I'm eating with colleagues. I don't really want to be like logging things, and like, how can I even log when I'm out? Okay. So that's the first thing. And then you go, well, and then I'm away all weekend and it's a big celebration. I'm drinking. So how's it even possible for me to adhere to this? And like, how can I get to the gym? I'm away for 4 days this week. You know, you can see you just create so many barriers by just having a surface level, just do this. That's why you need frameworks, because frameworks are adaptable. Okay, flexible, adaptable frameworks that allow you to show up something over nothing. Okay, they allow you to show up and compound consistency regardless of your environment, regardless of the twists and turns of your life, because it's realistic. It's a framework that you can to apply to your unique life. Okay, and we can chop and change things. So, you know, inside the Lean Fulfilled Lifestyle, we've got a weight loss habit stacking system where we get clients to implement one simple habit every single week, and then they just add on another habit the week after. Okay, it simplifies the process, it reduces overwhelm, and it gets you to regain control and build this into your life quickly. Not only that, it's flexible, because implementing a morning routine or a high protein breakfast, whether you're at home, whether you're traveling away from work, whether you're on holiday, whether you're away for the weekend, we can still implement the principles of that habit. And if we implement that habit, whether you're at home, whether you're away, whether whatever, it's going to all compound and build towards the dream result that you want. So flexible frameworks, we've also got principle-based nutrition. This is insane. This is the mindset shift and the flexible framework you need to be able to eat out with your family, enjoy summer, go on holidays, and actually not feel guilty, okay? And actually enjoy moments, picking and choosing them, and just knowing how you can actually eat out, have a fantastic, beautiful meal, get all the health benefits, and feel great that you're not sabotaging your weight loss goal every single weekend. So these are some of the frameworks that we use. We've got our identity reset, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So once you've got your goal, okay, and you actually commit and go, do you know what? I need to challenge that all or nothing mindset. I need a goal. I need to just get after it, because deep down, this is what I want to achieve. Then we can look at the flexible frameworks, okay, that we can implement into your life. Then moving past that, we've got to look at structure, okay? Without structure, you're just never going to implement everything that you have in your head. Life is busy. You need to know how you can actually practically apply this. So you need a training program, you need a nutrition strategy, and you need habits that actually, you know, help to shape and change your daily behavior in line with what you want to achieve. Without that structure, you can have a goal and some idea of what you need to do, but unless you've got structure, it's very hard for you to know, right, here's the information and I need to implement it, but there's a gap, all right? And that's structure. Structure bespoke to you, that's adaptable, okay? If you're telling me you don't have much time, we go, okay, cool, what can you commit to? Probably only 30 minutes at the minute. I'm gonna have to work out from home. Okay, cool. So we'll build a program that allows you to work out from home 2 days a week for 30 minutes with the equipment that you've got to reduce the stress. Let's just run that for 4 weeks. Let's build your fitness, build your strength, build your confidence. And then over time, maybe we can stretch and push you dependent on your goal and timeline. Okay, that's why structure unique to you is essential. Not just what ChatGPT tells you, not just an old plan that you followed from a PT 10 years ago. Okay, real bespoke structure for you. Because that way as well, you've had a say in it. So yes, there's scientifically things that we need to do to achieve your goal, but if you're having a say in how that can be shaped for your life, absolutely game changing. And the final thing here, this is the biggest thing that underpins absolutely everything that I've said today, okay? The things that we need to ditch that all or nothing mindset, to not let perfect be the enemy of good, and to not let this mindset that's heightened in spring and summer stop you achieving your health and fitness goal, okay? To building lasting habits and actually living that healthy and fulfilled life is identity. If your identity doesn't change, then you won't. If you have an all or nothing mindset, you're a perfectionist, you believe that you can't achieve your goal because you've got loads going on and life is busy and you know, all of this stuff that I've talked about, then you have the identity of a person that will never build lasting habits, you know, and learn how to sustain and achieve their dream body and healthy lifestyle. That's just plain fact, because that identity, that mindset doesn't align with that, okay? So we have to change your identity. And it all starts with challenging the narratives in your head. That's what identity is. Your identity is created from the narratives in your head. It forms a set of beliefs. It's then beliefs that influence your behaviors and actions, therefore your result. So we have to change your identity, okay? It's why when a client joins, we take them through our identity reset method, okay? So they're actually evolving and developing their identity to be in line with the goals that they want to achieve. Because unless we challenge your all or nothing mindset, nothing will change. And spring and summer's a tricky place because you've got an all or nothing mindset. You might have a holiday 4 weeks away and you will go for it. You will commit and smash it for 4 weeks and you'll see progress and you'll feel great and you'll say, see, I know what I'm doing, lost a bit of weight, I'm feeling good. I'm not there yet, but I've done really well. And then it all falls down again, okay? So you've got to learn to ditch that all or nothing mindset. And the only way you will is changing your identity, okay? Actively working on evolving your identity every single day. And if you do that, then everything will marry together. And the best progress that you've ever made is ahead of you. It really is. And with that fulfillment, confidence, excitement, and just plugging in the missing piece of the jigsaw, which in your life is health and fitness. So look, I hope that was useful and you enjoyed this concept, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I don't even know. I always find it really awkward closing out YouTube videos, but there you go. Hopefully you stuck around till the end, found that useful. Any questions, fire away, and I'll see you in the next